Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our final 10 and under session here at the 2024 Fast Independence Invitational. I'd like to ask that you all please rise, face the flag, and for the playing of the national anthem. We'd like to thank any of our family members here who are active or are veteran of the armed forces. Thank you for your service. Now, getting on with today. Who's ready for relays? Go on a little bit louder. Who's ready for relays? That's more like it. Okay. Event 73, the girls 10 and under 200 meter freestyle relay, heat 1. Next event in the water will be the boys 200 meter freestyle relay.
It didn't trigger, so we can't tell you.
Coming in first in time of 2:24.97 in lane 5, be Loggerhead Aquatics. Event 74, the boys 10 and under 200 meter freestyle relay, heat 1. This is the only heat of the relays for the boys. The next event in the water will be event 75, the girls 10 and under 100 meter butterfly. Getting ready behind the blocks in lane 1 will be Abigail Schaffer, lane 2 Grace McDonald, lane 3 Logan Baker, lane 4 Sophia Moore, lane 5 Claudia Alvara, lane 6 Minnie Ricky, lane 7 Michaela Horverson, lane 8 Cora Hungler, lane 9 Ashton Baker, and lane 10 Alexa Ramos. Wow. And hitting the wall. 0.01 ahead is lane 6, Loggerhead Aquatics, in a time of 2:21.48, with Fast Falcons A coming in 2:21.49. Event 75, the girls 10 and under 100 meter butterfly, heat 1. This is the only heat for the girls. The next event will be event 76, the boys 100 meter butterfly. Getting ready behind the blocks for heat 1. In lane 2, Trey Lay. 3, Caleb Milak. 4, Noah Schechter. 5, Daniel Shee. 6, Blake Agamez. 7, Caleb Stromberg. 8, Giuseppe Marullo. Hitting the wall in first place in 1:25.23 is Claudia Alfaora. Event 76, the boys 10 and under 100 meter butterfly, heat 1. The next event will be event 77, the girls 10 and under 50 meter breaststroke. This will be starting from the diving board end. For heat 1, in lane 1 we'll have Macy M. Perry. Lane 2, McKenna Dubsky. Lane 3, Cora Hungler. Lane 4, Sophia Ortez Rivera. Lane 5, Alison Gray. Lane 6, Asara Maya. Lane 7, Audrey Bloom. Lane 8, Sloan Hunt. Lane 9, Amelia Ewing. And lane 10, Sienna Hunt. Hitting the wall in first place is Daniel Shee in a time of 1:23.69. Event 77, the girls 10 and under 50-meter breaststroke, heat 1. The next heat, heat 2, lining up in lane 1, Kendall Beauregard, line 2, Adele Mathia, lane 3, Zoe Langford, lane 4, Cassie Fuller, lane 5, Abigail Schaefer, lane 6, Logan Baker, lane 7, Sophia Moore, lane 8, Maya Starkey, lane 9, Harper Hodges, and lane 10, Zoe Kamatz. Hitting the wall in 49.24. In lane 6 is Asara Meyer. Heat 2. The next heat will be heat 3, lining up in lane 1, Adi Foster, lane 2, Lexi Petone, lane 3, Amelia Vanderberg, lane 4, Addie Muller, lane 5, Jade Robertson, lane 6, Kennedy Langford, lane 7, Hayley Bartell, lane 8, Rowan Breeden, lane 9, Sophia Crease, lane 10, Cameron Zambito. And hitting the wall in first place for the heat is Logan Baker in 53.29. Heat 3. Next heat will be heat 4. Lining up behind the blocks for lane 1, Lily Schaffer. Lane 2, Penelope Del Pino. Lane 3, Ember Howard. Lane 4, Ashton Baker. Lane 5, Corrine Carr. Lane 6, Amrin Reynolds. Lane 7, Natalie Williams. Lane 8, Clara Leon. Lane 9, JJ Freeman. Lane 10, Alexa Ramos. And hitting the wall in first place in time of 1 minute 75 is Kennedy Langford. Heat 4. The next heat, heat 5, is the final heat for the girls. Lining up in lane 3, Heidi Fram. Lane 4, Kira Barisha. Lane 5, Georgina Busan. Lane 6, Ayla Ivy. Lane 7, Carmel Larkin. Lane 8, Maya Powell. Hitting the wall in first place in lane 8, Clara Leon in a time of 59.91. Heat 5. The next event, heat event 78, will be the boys 50-meter breaststroke. Lining up for heat 1 in lane 1, Adrian Barangalov. Lane 2, Giuseppe Marullo. Lane 3, Cristiano Buda. Lane 4, Noah Schechter. Lane 5, Landon Beauregard. Lane 6, Wesley Hamer. Lane 7, Caleb Milak. Lane 8, Mason Langford. Lane 9, Nathaniel Lovelady. And lane 10, Charles Wolfe. Hitting the wall in first place in a time of 1:01.11 is Ayla Ivy. Event 78, boys 10 and under, 50-meter breaststroke, heat 1. Next heat will be heat 2. Lining up in lane 1, Sergio Bello. Lane 2, Aidan Karunakaran. Lane 3, Benjamin Bolts. Lane 4, Liam Eisel. Lane 5, Liam Gianella. Lane 6, Victor Chizu. Lane 7, Max Madeira. Lane 8, Connor Cummings. Lane 9, Kana Oya. And lane 10, Benjamin McClellan. Hitting the wall in first place is Landon Beauregard in lane 5 in a time of 43.99. Heat 2. Getting ready for the next heat, heat 3. In lane 1, Benson Morn. Lane 2, Lincoln Fritz. Lane 3, Patrick Gray. Lane 4, Philip Busalev. Lane 5, Blake Agamez. Lane 6, Jaden Silvera. Lane 7, Marcus Peeble. Lane 8, Carl Whitley. Lane 9, Liam Steigner, and lane 10, Ryan Gerald. Hitting the wall in first place in a time of 50.76 in lane 6 is Victor Chizu. Heat 3. Next heat will be the fourth and final heat of the boys 50 breaststroke. In lane 2 will be Rick Patel. Lane 3, Arnav Tripathi. Lane 4, Braxton Stevenson. Lane 5, Ian Young. Lane 6, Carter Busher. Lane 7, Chris Ewing. Lane 8, Yan Wu. Lane 9, Andrew Fowler. Heat 4. This is the final heat of the 50-metre breaststroke. Next event, starting from the flag end, will be event 79, the girls 10 and under 100-metre freestyle. Lining up for heat 1, in lane 1, Grace McDonald. Lane 2, Sophia Ortez Rivera. Lane 3, Asara Meyer. Lane 4, Audrey Bloom. Lane 5, Claudia Alfahora. Lane 6, Minnie Ricky. Lane 7, Kenzie Krause. Lane 8, Sophia Moore. Lane 9, Cassie Fuller. Lane 10, Maya Starkey. And in that final heat, hitting the wall in a time of 51.58 in lane 8 will be Yan Wu in first place in the heat. Event 79, the girls 10 and under 100 meter freestyle. Heat 1. Getting ready for Heat 2, behind the blocks in Lane 1, Sloane Hunt. Lane 2, Sienna Hunt. Lane 3, Michaela Helverson. Lane 4, Alison Gray. Lane 5, Logan Baker. Lane 6, Ashton Baker. Lane 7, Isabella Arellano. Lane 8, Amelia Ewing. Lane 9, Lexi Batone. And Lane 10, McKenny Dubsky. And hitting the wall in first place in Lane 5, Claudia Alfora, in a time of 1:11.54. Heat 2. Lining up for Heat 3 in Lane 1, Corinne Carr. Lane 2, Sophia Crease. Lane 3, Zoe Langford. Lane 4, Natalie Williams. Lane 5, Kendall Beauregard. Lane 6, Adele Mathia. Lane 7, Abigail Schaffer. Lane 8, Jade Robertson. Lane 9, Addie Muller. And Lane 10, Amelia Vandenberg. And hitting the wall in first place in a time of 1:21.67 is Ashton Baker in Lane 6. Heat 3. In the water is the third of 5 heats. The next heat, Heat 4. Getting ready in lane 1, Carmel Larkin. Lane 2, Olivia Fogel. Lane 3, Rowan Breeden. Lane 4, Kira Barisha. Lane 5, Cameron Zambito. Lane 6, Zoe Kamat. Lane 7, Amron Reynolds. Lane 8, Ember Howard. Lane 9, Macy Imperi. Lane 10, Kennedy Langford. And hitting the wall in first place in the heat, Kendall Beauregard in a time of 1:34.98 in lane 5. Heat 4. Next up is the 5th and final heat for the girls 100 meter freestyle. Getting ready in lane 1, Zora Sessler. Lane 2, Clara Leon. Lane 3, Lily Schaffer. Lane 4, Heidi Fram. Lane 5, Hayley Bartell. Lane 6, JJ Freeman. Lane 7, Alison Christofferson. Lane 8, Alexa Ramos. Lane 9, Ayla Ivy. And lane 10, Penelope Del Pino. Hitting the wall in first place in lane 4, Kira Barisha in a time of 1:36.97. Heat 5. So this is the last heat of the girls 100 free. Next event will be the boys 10 and under 100 meter freestyle. That's event 80. In heat 1, lining up in lane 1, Cristiano Buda. Lane 2, Giuseppe Marullo. Lane 3, Landon Beauregard. Lane 4, Wesley Hamer. Lane 5, Bo Fowler. Lane 6, Daniel Shee. Lane 7, Charles Wolfe. Lane 8, Caleb Milak. Lane 9, Caleb Stromberg. And lane 10, Noah Schechter. Hitting the wall in first place is 1:34.15 is Clara Leon in lane 2. Event 80, boys 10 and under 100 meter freestyle, heat 1. Next heat in the water will be heat 2. Lining up in lane 1, Yan Wu. Lane 2, Kana Oya. Lane 3, Liam Roth. Lane 4, Mason Langford. Lane 4, Aidan Karanakaran. Lane 6, Victor Chizu. Lane 7, Liam Gianella. Lane 8, Nathaniel Lovelady. Lane 9, Trey Lee. And lane 10, Connor Cummings. And hitting the wall in first place in a time of 1:09.63 is Bo Fowler. Heat 2. Up next is the third heat for the boys 100 meter freestyle. Getting ready in lane 1, Adrian Barangalov. Lane 2, Sergio Bella. Lane 3, Kyle Whitley. Lane 4, Benjamin McClellan. Lane 5, Benjamin Bolts. Lane 6, Liam Eisel. Lane 7, Marcus Peebaugh. Lane 8, Jaden Silveira. Lane 9, Patrick Gray. Lane 10, Arnav Tripathi. Hitting the wall in first place in lane 9 in a time of 1:22.45 is Trey Lee. Heat 3. Next is the fourth and final heat. Lining up in lane 1, Andrew Fowler. Lane 2, Ryan Gerald. Lane 3, Xander Suits. Lane 4, Benson Moorhan. Lane 5, Liam Steigner. Lane 6, Max Madeira. Lane 7, Lincoln Fritz. Lane 8, Chris Ewing. Lane 9, Ian Young. And lane 10, Philip Busalev. Hitting the wall in a time of 1:28.44 in lane 5 is Benjamin Bolts, first placed in the heat. Heat 4. and hitting the wall in a time of 1:31.69 in first place. In lane 10, Filip Buselev. Next up will be the 50s. Event 81, the girls 10 and under 50-metre backstroke. Lining up in heat 1, in lane 1, Kenzie Kraus, lane 2, Logan Baker, lane 3, Audrey Bloom, lane 4, Isabella Arellano, lane 5, Claudia Alfaora, lane 6, Cora Hungler, lane 7, Michaela Halverson, lane 8, Sophia Moore, lane 9, Cassie Fuller, and lane 10, Harper Hodges. Event 81, the girls 10 and under 50-metre backstroke, heat 1. Getting ready next for heat 2. In lane 1, Amelia Vandenberg. Lane 2, McKenna Dubsky. Lane 3, Lexi Batone. Lane 4, Maya Starkey. Lane 5, Sophia Ortiz Rivera. Lane 6, Ashton Baker. Lane 7, Grace McDonald. Lane 8, Alison Gray. Lane 9, Clara Leon. Lane 10, Sloane Hunt. And hitting the wall in first place in a time of 38.29 in lane 5 is Claudia Alfaora. Heat 2. Next is the third heat. Lining up in lane 1, Olivia Fogel. Lane 2, Adi Foster. Lane 3, Corinne Carr. Lane 4, Rowan Breeden. Lane 5, Amelia Ewing. Lane 6, Zoe Langford. Lane 7, Jade Robertson. Lane 8, Adele Mathia. Lane 9, Abigail Schaffer. Lane 10, Kendall Beauregard. And hitting the wall in first place in the heat in time of 45.94 in lane 9, Clara Leon. Heat 3. Up next is Heat 4. Lining up behind block 1, Adi Muller. Line 2, Hayley Bartell. Lane 3, Sienna Hunt. Lane 4, Ember Howard. Lane 5, Macy Imperi. Lane 6, Cameron Zambito. Lane 7, Zoe Kamat. Lane 8, Kennedy Langford. Lane 9, Amrin Reynolds. And lane 10, Heidi Fram. And first place in the heat goes to Amelia Ewing in lane 5 with a time of 49.39. Heat 4. Up next is Heat 5. In lane 2 will be Alison Christopherson. Lane 3, Natalie Williams. Lane 4, Penelope Del Pino. Lane 5, JJ Freeman. Lane 6, Lily Schaffer. Lane 7, Carmel Larkin. Lane 8, Georgina Bugasan. Lane 9, Alexa Ramos. And hitting the wall in first place for the heat in a time of 53.13. In lane 3 is Sienna Hunt. Heat 5. Next we have the 6th and final heat for the 50 back for the girls. In lane 4 will be Zora Sessler. Lane 5, Kira Berisha. Lane 6, Ayla Ivy. Hitting the wall in first place within the heat is Alexa Ramos in a time of 55.93 in lane 9. Heat 6. Up next will be event 82, which is the boys 50-metre backstroke. Lining up for the first heat in lane 1, Aidan Karanakaran. Lane 2, Caleb Milak. Lane 3, Mason Langford. Lane 4, Wesley Hamer. Lane 5, Bo Fowler. Lane 6, Blake Agames. Lane 7, Charles Wolfe. Lane 8, Liam Roth. Lane 9, Victor Chizu. and lane 10, Giuseppe Marullo. Hitting the wall in first place for the heat. In lane 5 is Kira Barisha in a time of 51.53. Event 82, the boys 10 and under, 50-metre backstroke. Heat 1. Next in the water is Heat 2. Preparing themselves behind the blocks in lane 1, Connor Cummings. Lane 2, Yan Wu. Lane 3, Marcus Peeble. Lane 4, Benjamin Bolts. Lane 5, Nathaniel Lovelady. Lane 6, Caleb Stromberg. Lane 7, Trey Lee. Lane 8, Kana Oya. Lane 9, Liam Eisel. And lane 10, Carl Whitley. Hitting the wall in first place for the heats is Bo Fowler in lane 5 in a time of 37.34. Heat 2. Next in the water will be Heat 3. Lining up in lane 1, Jaden Selviera. Lane 2, Arnav Tripathi. Lane 3, Philip Busalev. Lane 4, Sergio Bello. Lane 5, Liam Gianella. Lane 6, Benjamin McClellan. Lane 7, Adrian Barengalov. Lane 8, Ryan Gerald. Lane 9, Liam Steigner. Lane 10, Lincoln Fritz. Hitting the wall in first place in lane 7, Trey Lee in a time of 43.40. Heat 3. Next up will be Heat 4. Lining up in lane 1, Eddie Wolf. Lane 2, Ian Young. Lane 3, Adam Maliszewski. Lane 4, Patrick Gray. Lane 5, Max Madeira. Lane 6, Sander Suits. Lane 7, Benson Moorhan. Lane 8, Braxton Stevenson. Lane 9, Chris Ewing. Hitting the wall in first place is Liam Gianella in a time of 47.84. Heat 4. Up next is Heat 5, the final heat for the boys' 50-metre backstroke. In lane 4 we'll have Andrew Fowler, lane 5 Carter Boucher, lane 6 Rick Patel. After that we'll be returning to the flag end of the pool for the girls' 200-metre IMs. Hitting the wall in first place for the heat in a time of 58.21 is Ian Young in lane 2. Heat 5. Next event in the water will be event 83. This will be the girls 200 IM in heat 1. In lane 1 will be Amelia Ewing. Lane 2, Cassie Fuller. Lane 3, Sophia Ortez Rivera. Lane 4, Minnie Ricky. Lane 5, Claudia Alfahora. Lane 6, Kenzie Kraus. Lane 7, Asari Maya. Lane 8, Isabella Arellano. Lane 9, Harper Hodges. Hitting the wall in first place in that heat in a time of 1:06.26 is Rick Patel in lane 6. Event 83, the girls 10 and under 200 metre IM, heat 1. Next in the water will be heat 2. Lining up in lane 4, A.D. Foster. Lane 5, Sophia Kreis. Lane 6, Cameron Zambito. hitting the wall in first place in a time of 3:02.68 is Claudia Alfahora in lane 5. Heat 2. This will be the final heat of the girls 200 meters IM. The next event will be the boys 200 meter IM. Lining up ready for heat 1 in lane 1, Landon Beauregard. Lane 2, Victor Chizu. Lane 3, Wesley Hamer. Lane 4, Charles Wolfe. Lane 5, Bo Fowler. Lane 6, Daniel Shee. Lane 7, Blake Agamez. Lane 8, Liam Roth. Lane 9, Caleb Stromberg. And lane 10, Cristiano Buda. This is a close one. See who's going to get this. And hitting the wall in first place in a time of 4:12.91 is A.D. Foster in lane 4. Event 84, the boys 10 and under, 200 meter IM, heat 1. Okay, next up is the second and final heat of the 2 IM, and it will be the final heat of the 10 and under session. Lining up in lane 2, Marcus Bibor. Lane 3, Prathish Mulaguru. Lane 4, Philip Busalev. Lane 5, Kana Oya. Lane 6, Noah Schechter. Lane 7, Aidan Karanakaran. Lane 8, Liam Mizell. And hitting the wall in first place in the heat is in a time of 2:51.09 in lane 5, Bo Fowler. Heat 2. This is the final heat. For those who are already done and are about to leave, thank you for joining us here at this beautiful facility here in Ocala. And wish you a safe journey home and look forward to seeing you again. And a quick bit of Independence Day trivia. There is a 4th of July in England. Hitting the wall in first place in lane 8 will be Liam Eisel in a time of 3:44.98. And that brings an end to our 10 and under session today. Thank you again, swimmers, parents, coaches, and most importantly, our volunteers. Without you volunteers, we would not be able to have this meet. Warm-ups for the final session will start at 2:45. And remember, it will be feet first entry. The pool is now open for warm-up for the final session. Feet first entry. So attention, for the 10 and under session, we have the high point scores. We're going to start with the 8 and unders. Yes. For those names called out, come across to the announcers table, the admin table, and you'll get your trophy. In second place, with a score of 121 from Fast Falcons, is Amelia Vandenbeck. And in first place, with only 2 more points, 123 points, again from Fast Falcons, is Jade Robertson. For 8 and under boys, with a point score of 144 from Gator Swim Club, is Mason Langford. And in first place, with 173 points from Loggerhead Aquatics, it's Kana Oya. Again, come down to the admin table. For 9 and 10-year-olds, for the girls first, with 128 points, our runner-up from Fast Falcons is Cassie Fuller. And in first place, with an outstanding score of 192 from Tampa Y, is Claudia Alfaora. Boys, for 9 and 10, in second place with a score of 144 from Loggerhead Aquatics is Bo Fowler. And our winner for the high points with a score of 161 from Fast Falcons is Wesley Hamer.